Hello, this is Cuckoo, and today I want to show you something very important and long overdue. Sorry about that, but here it goes. This is the analog Rytm. It's a very, very nice drum machine, of course, an analog synthesizer, really. Sample player is really good. It's one of the best ones. And a lot of people have been asking me these questions about it concerning file management and memory. What is a kit? How does a kit get stored? How do I back up my data? What is a sound? Can I put a sound from one project into another project? Can I export a song from one project to another project? What's a project? What gets stored in a project? What's the sound pool? What's the sample RAM memory? All of these things. I try to be really structured about it because this is really important. I've made so many mistakes and messing up stuff because I forgot to save a kit, for instance, before moving on to a new kit. And yeah, so I'm going to try to be really structured about it. Okay, so file management and kit sound data, I guess. Okay, let's try this thing. Okay, so here we go. The analog Rytm has got a lot of ways to save and store patches, kits, projects, and all of that. So it has got something called a plus drive. The plus drive is some sort of flash drive inside of the analog Rytm, and it's documented that there is space for 128 full projects and one whole gigabyte for samples, 4,096 slots for sound patches. Okay, so this is the memory we've got to work with. Let's see. So what is a sample? Let's follow this blue line here. A sample is an audio wave file. It has to be transferred to the analog Rytm. Currently, you do that through either the app called Sysex, which is Electron's own Sysex and file management program. Currently, it seems that you can't transfer samples through OVERWRITE. So the only way to manage samples is to do it through C6. There is also an app called Strum for the iPad, which is very delicate and very good. You can transfer samples through that app as well. I want you to know that samples, as long as you put it into the analog Rytm, it will never be duplicated. And that's a good thing, because then we know that we're not going to waste any space. So, and also, although it's very nice to keep a tidy structure when you load samples into it, you can have kick drums there, you can have, like, I don't know, 9 or 9 samples in one folder and whatnot, whatever structure you want to keep it. Actually, if you lose samples, or if you accidentally delete samples, and then you're like, oh no, I didn't know what the folder was called or whatever. If you load the same sample back into the analog Rytm, the kits and the sounds that are using it will find it wherever it's stored. So for finding the samples, the analog Rytm internally doesn't actually use the file path. It's using the sample ID. Like, if it's the exact same sample, it'll find it. So that could be a very good thing to know if you suddenly, let's say you end up in a place with a new analog Rytm, and then you need to load it up with your custom samples. Then you can just throw them in there, and you're good to go. Okay, so sound patches. Yeah, sound patches, 4,096 of them. So a sound patch is all the parameters that make a sound. Also, you might be using samples in the sound, but they're not stored in the sound patch. there's a reference to the sample in the sound patch. So no duplicates of sample ever on the analog rhythm. Also, I want you to know sound patches can be saved in a global place on the flash drive. Kits can be saved only locally in a project. Okay, so these things, sounds and samples, they're available from everywhere. A project, what is a project? Well, for me, I see it as a like, for instance, if I'm playing just playing around and making some stuff, and then eventually it becomes some serious music. The moment it becomes serious, I might start considering where I want to store this. If this is going to be like one project for this particular music that I'm working on, is it one project per song? Maybe sometimes if it's a very advanced setup, it could be that. But for me, I tend to think about project as a live performance. One project per live performance. That's how I see it. You know, you could do it any way you want. But maybe first of all, what is a project? What is it? This is what's stored inside of a project. So a project contains the following. I'm going to say this, I've actually never used this, but it's got 4 globals. A global setting is something containing all your MIDI setting, like transport and sync setup, all that is stored in a global setting. It has 4 of them in each project. That means that you could dedicate one setting, for instance, for working in the studio with syncing to a DAW or something. Another global could be used for using the machine as a master. Maybe a third global could be used for using it as a slave, something like that. I personally don't use it that much, but I could see the benefit from using it. 4 globals, 1, 2, 3, 4, and every project has space for 128 kits. Now, a kit is a collection of sound patches for all the 12 pads. So 12 sounds. And it's also saving all the scene settings, the performance settings, the effects settings, and the master settings. Sounds are saved in the kit, so they will never go away. Samples are referenced. So samples are, again, not duplicated. It's referenced. So if you've spent a lot of time creating your kit, which might very well be the case. I mean, maybe some scenes and performance settings are really delicate and specifically made for just this kit. Then it might be good to use this as a template for the next time you're making a kit. Patterns. In the project, we've got 128 patterns. So, and they're organized in banks. So you've got like 8 banks, like A, B, C. So 8 banks times 16 patterns per bank is 128. A pattern is a sequence of triggered sounds and parameter trigs. Also, the default trig settings in the trig page is stored in the pattern. And pattern length and swing settings is also stored in there. And also in the pattern, there is a reference to what kit is being used. So the kit is not stored in the pattern, but there is a reference to what kit to load once that pattern loads. So this means that you need to pay super extra attention to what kit is loaded. So there is no coincidence that there is 128 kits and 128 patterns. Each pattern can have its own kit, but it doesn't have its own kit unless you save it specifically to that and load it into that pattern. So 128 kits, 128 patterns. But if you start a pattern, you will automatically assign the kit that you're currently using to that pattern until you change the kit or save it in a new slot. Then the new kit will be used in that pattern. The most common mistake that I've done is to start a new pattern, and then I think, okay, let's change some of the sounds, and then I'm happy with it, and I move on or load some other kit or some other pattern, and then when I go back to the pattern, I realize, oh, I forgot to save the kit, and then the kit before I made the changes is loaded, and it doesn't sound at all the way I intended it to do. The second most common mistake I'm still doing it actually, well, maybe not anymore, I've learned my lesson, is to save the kit and to overwrite the kit that is being used elsewhere. So I come from one pattern with a kit and it sounds nice, and then I start a new song still having the same kit selected, and then I'm like, yeah, cool, let's change some of the sounds and make a new song. And then I'm happy, and then I press the hotkeys for saving, like yes and kit. Then you overwrite the kit that you're currently editing, and then I'm happy about it. And then I kind of load another pattern that was using that same kit, and then I'm like, oh no, I just destroyed this other song because I overwrote the kit. So pay attention to the kits. What kit are you using? Is this used in another pattern? If it's like a series of patterns that are using one same kit, that's fine. Just keep it in the most important place of your brain and pay attention to that. Whenever you start a new little sequence, a new song, or a new jam, create a new kit. Just do it. Because, if you don't do it, you might actually overwrite or save over or forget to save the kit. New pattern, new song, new kit. It has to be made manually. Okay. The project also contains 16 songs. It can contain up to 16 songs. A song is an arrangement with a list of patterns, mute, and repetition information. So, in essence, you say, like, play this pattern, but only with these sounds muted, play this pattern with these sounds on again, play this next pattern 3 times, and so forth. And then you'll reach the end. It's a very, very nice way to just prepare a whole song and let it play while you're doing something else. So it's got 16 slots for that. Also, it's a very nice way to remember how you structured something. Sometimes it could be a hassle to remember what song is where and stuff, and then you could name it and you can instantly see where it leads to. Okay. Every project has a sound pool, and this is something that I haven't heard much talk about on the Analog Rytm. On the Analog 4, it also has a sound pool, and I've heard it being mentioned a lot of times there. But on the Analog Rytm, there is like 12 different pads for sounds. So you're thinking, yeah, I've got 12 different sounds, and that's enough. But with a sound pool, everything loaded into the sound pool can be triggered and per step, per trig. So you could have like a different array of kick drums, for instance. Like, let's say you got like 5 different kick drums, and in one part of the song you're using like one of the kick drums, and it's really cool. But then you head into the chorus or something, and you want a much more defined or fatter kick drum. then you can access that by pressing the trig and turning the level knob. You access everything that is stored in the sound pool. So in the sound pool, you store sound patches. That could be very, very powerful. It could make the machine sound like it has so much more to offer than actually just 12 sounds. Okay, the last thing is more like how the machine handles samples. So in each project you got 127 slots for samples. So it's a list of samples loaded into the current project. When you're starting up the analog rhythm, you might see an animated icon that's kind of wavy or like pulsing, and it's telling you that it's still loading the samples. The sample memory is 64 megabytes, and how much you can fit into that, I'm not sure, a couple of minutes probably. So if you have a lot of very long samples that you're trying to load in, you'll at some point reach the out of memory limit. But for most parts, it's probably one shots or shorter samples, and then you know 64 megabytes is plenty. Okay, so that is the project. Now I want to move on and do some practical demos, just so we get this in our fingers and to pay attention to what we should pay attention to. So let's do some practical demos. Okay, so here we are. Let's start a new project. Function global and project, top of the menu. Project manager. This is the list of project. If it's totally new, you probably just have one called presets and maybe one called new project. Let's go find a totally empty slot here. Yeah, and you can see this little arrow to the right. Every arrow to the right means there is a menu on the right side. And on the right side there's action menus. Sometimes there is a menu on the left, then it's like option menus. So I'm going to go to the right, say initialize new. Clearing, yes. There's a new project. I'm going to rename it. I'm going to call it tutorial. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Tutorial is right there. So we still haven't loaded it. This one, let's see. This one is still loaded. So let's load it. Now, I just hit no to get out there. We got this quicker menu called load project and save project, and project manager is more like the total stuff. You can still load stuff from the project manager, but most of the time maybe it's quicker to go into load project menu. So I'm gonna go, and in this menu we can't even see the empty slots. So the one we just made is called tutorial. It's right there, number 8. Number 11 is the next one. So there's 2 empty slots in between that. Tutorial, press it. Do you want to save the one you were in before loading? Yeah, let's do that. Save. Yeah, and that's how long time it takes to save. Loading is a bit faster. So this is the standard. Nothing is in it. Standard kit. Yeah. So let's load something that I know is saved on here. So function and sound. I'm now in the bass drum 1. So in the sound browser, I can only browse sounds that work on the current track. If I shift track now to this one, I can only see sounds that work on these tracks. You can see there is like a semi-lit red there, indicating that it will indeed work on that one too. And this sound will work on everything. Because it's done like this because all of the tracks are different. So these tracks are different. This one is special. These are similar, I think, and then these are different from these ones. So it's a bit, they're configured with different analog circuitry. Okay, so track, bass drum. And while we're browsing, we can see that all of these lit up. if I press one of them, I'm actually just browsing one of these banks. So while I'm browsing, these become banks. And the factory presets, they're stored here, and then it's kind of empty. And I tend to save my patches here and so forth. So let's check out some of my kicks here. Yeah, this one. Yes, do it. Next one, track, snare, sound browser, Sysex. Yeah. Next one, I'm just loading some stuff now. Function, sound browser, Remit. Yeah. Clap. I wonder if I made some claps. I don't know. Oh, sorry. Function and sound to enter here. Yes. Yeah, clap it. Okay, yeah, so far so good. Let's go out here. Track and select this one. I'm going to make a little sound here and then I'm going to save it. So, synth. What I'm doing now is I'm making a kit. Okay, that's first thing I do is that I select a couple of sounds and I make a kit. So this, yeah, let's try this one, metallic. Yeah, how about that? You can copy this sound here if you want to. These are sharing the same engine, so they're compatible. Track, hold the track and press copy. Copy, track, hold the track and press paste. Now these are the same. Track and this one, track and this one. I'm going to make this longer. So I'm not going to make a full tutorial on how to make sounds, but just to make it a quick kit, and then we're going to save stuff. For instance, if this sound, maybe I'll add something more to it to make it, I don't know, maybe an LFO that is shifting the volume to make it a bit special. Let's see, make it free, have the depth. So you can hear now it's shifting in volume. Okay. And maybe too much reverb. So this way I could very quickly make like a without any, you know, automation, without me having to manually do some velocity programming. I think this is a quick way. Anyway, if I want to save this now, I can do it in this way. I can press function and sound to open the sound manager, because in the sound browser I can only see sounds that are there. I can't see empty slots. But if I go into the sound manager, this is where I could save stuff. So let's say we save stuff here. There's an empty bank. Whenever you're in this browser mode, this is a quick way of entering the banks. If you press the same twice, you'll be browsing all of the banks at the same time. Okay, just in this bank now. So here we go. If I pay attention now, I can see that on the left there is a menu, on the right there is a menu. Option menu on the left, action menu on the right. Left, we can view the pool, we can sort, do stuff like that. And on the right, this is where I want to save the track sound. Be sure that your track is selected, save it, and I'm gonna call it Tinky Bell. Okay, Tinky Bell. There we go. I just saved it. Now there is one thing that I didn't do that I was actually a bit surprised now. When I save something, store track sound. Yes. I thought it was a bit strange actually. What I expected was to edit some tags. So now instead I'm doing this afterward. I saved it, but if I want to find this later, it might be difficult to remember where it was, but it's a hi-hat, right? So I could tag it, press right, and then go down, edit tags. Yeah, can tag it with hi-hat, save. So now it's saved, and you can see the tag there, hi-hat. Okay. Yeah, let's save that one too, just to do it. Save track sound. Tinkest. Yeah. Tinkest. Yeah, I'm gonna do that too now. Edit tags. Gonna call it a hi-hat. Save. Okay. Just to make it sound nice, I'm gonna put some overdrive here. Yeah, make like a massive thing, and then make this short, maybe synth. Make this short as well. Do it overdrive. Just a quick. This is just. Yeah, so let's do some samples up here. Okay, instead of this sound there, let's go to the synth, tune it down, sample, turn it up. Let's see. Okay, we can see that there is actually two samples, stock samples, loaded in the new project. Let's begin with getting rid of those. So what I do now is when I do this, I go to function and global, go down to samples, and I press to the left, view the RAM. So what's currently loaded in this project? This is the list of all the 127 samples slots. Yeah. So I'm going to do with this here, press right and say unload. Yes. And then I'm going to take the other one, unload. So now it's totally clean and no samples in this project. I'm going to quickly load a sample here now. I'm pressing right and say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm doing this now. Now we've cleared the RAM memory, and I'm going out again to the plus drive. As we can see, because a D drive, it looks a bit old school with letters for the drives. So let's go into one of these. Now there are quick ways to navigate here. I'm going to use that. Function and right takes me right into that. Function and down is going to jump a lot of, function and left is going to take me out again. So let's go in here. Japanese. Yeah, okay, right. When I could see, when I'm browsing samples, I could preview them by pressing function and yes. This is very, very handy. So let's do this one, and you can see I just pressed yes and I hooked it like that. And this one, this one, this one. Yeah, I hooked a lot of them. Press right now and say load to project. Load full samples, yes. Full samples loaded. Press left again just to view the RAM again. And I can indeed see that all of these are now loaded and associated with this project. Okay, press no to get out. And let's see, here I want to load. I'm on the sample page here. I'm moving a bit quickly because I want to come to the point where I save kits and I save and load projects and stuff. So for sound tutorials, I'm sure there are a lot of other tutorials for that. Okay, so sample, I'm up on this one. So I turn down the synth. I could even go to trig page and say synth off. So now the synth is not even gonna trigger. Let's go to the sample page. Yeah, this one, yes. And the other one, I'm gonna turn off. I'm gonna do the same thing. Sample off. It's not even triggering. Sample. Sorry, the synth is not even triggering. Sample. Level up. When I access this menu, I could actually start using the arrows. Okay, yes. Okay, let's do something to this one. Add some reverb. A little overdrive, a little less reverb. Maybe a little boost somewhere. A little fat in the lower region. How about this one? Yeah, maybe some bit reduction. And the starting point could be later. Yeah, and the level could even go up with overdrive. Okay. Yeah, we can hear that this got suddenly got a new sample. It actually had a sample in there. It was using the stock clap sample. So now I put a new sample there. So that was unexpected. I'm just gonna turn it off. So now the clap is pure analog stuff. Okay, let's save this kit. We can see that there is a little letter, a little text here. This black field. It says kit 1. Kit 1. And what it means is it's using kit number 1, and kit number 1 is currently called kit 1. So the name of kit number 1 is actually kit 1. Yeah, I'm gonna do this now. Function and kit. You can see the red label is the kit. And then I'm gonna choose save kit. I'm gonna save it here and name it to something. I'm gonna call it demo. No, I'm gonna have to call it demon. Yeah. There we go. Now I saved this kit. Yeah, it's saved, it's stored, it's safe. Yeah. Now if I make a little change here, you know, change something, change the delay. Yeah, I made a little change here now. Now, in order to save this change, there is a quick way to do it. But be careful, because you don't want to overwrite something that you don't want to overwrite, okay? If you absolutely know and you're comfortable about what you're doing, then use this. It's going to save you a lot of time. Press yes and kit, and it will automatically save and update and overwrite the current kit. So yes and kit. Kit 1 saved. Yeah? Just updated it. This is very important to remember doing before you're you're moving on to a new kit and a new project. Otherwise, you might lose stuff. And the other way around too. If we are messing around with this now, we're doing like let's see, we're changing stuff. And then we're like, no, that wasn't that great. I liked it before. Maybe you're even performing and you're making changes, and then you want to come back to the original kit. There's also a quick way to do that. You can see the no button also has a reload tag to it. So reload and kit will reload the latest saved state of the kit. So no and kit. Kit 1 reloaded. Yeah, we're back. Cool. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make a little I don't know, a little sequence. Oh yeah, that's right. I already made a little okay. Sloppy timing. I'm gonna fix that with a function trig and do maximum quantize. Okay. Maybe make this shorter. Maybe this, mix it down a bit. Maybe I could even use some trig conditions here and say, well, this could kick in sometimes, but you never know when. Like 7. And this one is a bit too boomy, maybe. Maybe the same with this one. The bass tone, it could be like every second time. Okay, like 1 out of 2. So 1, it's there. Now it's gone. Now it's back. Yeah, the kick could be a bit shorter. I'm making permanent changes now to the kit. Okay, I made a few changes. I'm gonna update it. Save kit. Okay. Now, if I'm on this pattern now. If I select a new pattern, pattern A2 is empty, but we can see here, kit 1 daemon is being used. So if I start making a new kit now, out of this, maybe I'll load something else. Sound browser. Yeah, this one, and then here, save. Oh, sorry, sound browser, yes. Yeah, sound browser again, track 3. Yeah, this one could be like, yeah, this one, yeah. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Dum dum. Dum dum. Yeah. So maybe here I could make some cool use of the new engines. Let's do synth and impulse. Yeah, so impulse, level up, and filter. I'm going to use this peak. So it's firing a little click, a pulse into the filter. And the reason why it sounds like that is because the default mode of the pads, Aftertouch, is actually assigned to the filter. Amp. Yeah, effects. I'm going to do reverb a lot. Okay, yeah. I don't want that reverb, the Aftertouch, so I'm going to do this, function and sound. I'm going to go down to the sound settings and do Aftertouch reset. Yeah, function, and if these are like this, you can probably do function and clear, and it should clear the modulations, but then it clears it to the as you can see, to the factory presets. But if you want to zero them, function and just turn a knob with function to turn it to 0. So this is a very nice way to just zero out any. Okay, good. Yeah, and maybe it should also have, I'm going out again, delay. No, that's too fast. Okay. Track 6, copy. Track 7, paste. So what I'm doing now is making a second kit. Filter. Pan it. Copy, paste. Okay. Record. This could be a bit harder. I'm gonna put all these in random, like I don't know, 50%. Just a bit more. Okay, so the most stupid thing I could do now is to say yes and save, because I might already have forgotten that I'm actually starting out with a kit that is used in another sequence. And another thing that I just can't do now is to just, okay, let's check out some other patterns, because then I'll load up a new kit, and this kit that is not currently saved will be lost. So you have to keep this in your brain. Don't move to another pattern unless you're sure about the saved state of this kit. Don't overwrite a kit that is not supposed to be overwritten. So now I made a second pattern, but I haven't saved the kit. So function and kit, save kit, yes. Go into to the second slot, call it something else, daemon and savior. Yeah, okay. So now I saved it. If I go to the first one again, Demon. You could probably hear that. That kit is not the kit that I saved. So let's hit reload. And I'm not sure if this is a bug or if it's the expected behavior. But because I was just basing the kit on that kit, and then it probably stayed in a sort of buffer. And then when I moved back, it was still in sort of the edit buffer. I think it must be regarded as a small bug. But if you're absolutely sure that you saved it and then you hear something like this, wait a second, what, didn't I save it? Reload it, like no, and the kit. So reload. Yeah. Okay. So now I want to show you something now. Kits. We've done kits now. What if I know that I have a kit in another project that I want to use? Can I copy it over? Yes, you can. There is a function called copy and paste, and it works remarkably well across the system, and you might even not know about it. So I'm going to save this project now. Well, I'm going to go to global. I'm going to catch a kit in another project. Project, load project. Yeah, let's take this, Berlin 16. Want to save tutorial? Yes, I want to save it. Saving. Loading. Yes, okay. So, let's see if there is something good here. Maybe I chose the worst. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, for instance, this one, yeah? Yeah, this is called Lilybird. So I'm going into the kit menu. I'm going, just to be sure, into the load kit menu. I can see this one is marked. So in this menu, I'm going to say function and copy. Copy Lilybird. So now I've copied this kit. I'll go out, function and global, get into the project menu again, load project. I'm going to go back to the tutorial one where we were currently. I'm not going to save this because I didn't do. Any changes will be lost. Yes. So I just loaded the new one. And I'm going to go into the function and kit, load. And then I'm going to try to function and paste. Replace, yes. And I just pasted the kit there from the other project. This is a very nice thing of Electron to have actually made this functionality. So let's see if it's let's start a new open kit, load kit, Lilybird. Yeah. But did it actually copy over the... No, it didn't. It didn't copy the samples. Let's see what it says here. It says sample 23. Yeah. Well, that was a bummer. That was a bummer. But maybe we can work around it. So now I want to show you the sound pool, another place to save stuff. Let's say that I want some different sounds available to me. The bass drum, the bass tom track, it's more or less empty, right? So why not use it to make some other sounds than just a bass tom? So we could do that with the sound pool. So let's go into function and sound, Sound Manager. I'm gonna find, well, I'm gonna do Sound Browser for now. This one. Let's take this one. So I'm gonna go out there again, Sound Manager, and find out, what was it called again? Piank? 60 something. That's the one, yeah. So I'm gonna do this now. I'm gonna select it in the Sound Browser, Sound Manager. I'm gonna copy it to the sound pool. One sound's copied. And on the left, I'm gonna view the sound pool. So now we can see the sound pool is empty, but we've got one extra sound there. So let's go out again to the sequencer and see if we can access that sound. So now we've got a bass tom here, but at any time now on the sequencer, I could press and hold and just turn this knob to access those sounds that are in the sound pool. But be careful, because you will have a list of all the sounds, and even though you can't load them, so you can see this exclamation mark probably telling you that this is not compatible. So, piank. So now we've got two sounds on one channel. Isn't that amazing? Next one, we're gonna do like a filter change. Yeah, so maybe a second kick drum as well could be cool. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna first just check for some sounds. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna use this one, 14 QBS. Okay, Sound Manager, it's over here, and mark it and say copy to sound pool. Yeah. So now we've got something that will work down here as well. Let's see. Just press the trig and start, and there it is. Okay. So this is actually. Oops. No. I didn't want to do this. Okay. Don't. Yeah. Paste. Yeah, just copy and paste stuff. So I made changes now. I didn't make changes to the kit, or maybe I did, but I forgot about it. So I'll just save it anyway. Save. So now I'm playing more sounds on one track. Okay, this could be really potentially groundbreaking if you feel like you're constantly filling up the sounds, and then you come to a point where, yeah, I want more. You know, you can have more. Okay, so that's the sound pool. And now, every time you're working on something, I'm gonna say the kit again. You see that I feel now that I made some changes. I want to keep them, so I press save. Okay, get it into your workflow. And what was I gonna say? I forgot. Let's see. Okay, so we're saving kits, we're saving sounds. The patterns, they're always saving themselves. Every time you make a change to a pattern, it's saved. It's saved. It's saved. No need to save it. But when I say saved, it comes with a little catch. The currently loaded project is always saved in the currently loaded kind of working memory. And even though I turn it off now and turn it on, it will still be there in the same state. But kits will not be saved automatically when I turn it off and on again. So what I'm getting at is function and global project, save project. So what does save project do if this is already saved? Well, it's saved in the kind of currently loaded project memory. It's like a section of the memory set to be used for the currently loaded project, but it's not actually saved in the directory in the project manager. So if I load a project without saving this now, it will be lost. So if you want to save the project and make sure that you actually saved, it's all saved right here in this list. Yes, you can do that. Save it again. And this means that if you load it and you have a performance and you change a lot of stuff, you save kits and you change a lot of stuff, and then you say, yeah, it was a good performance. Now let's reset this whole project to its initial state. You could do that by reloading the project again. So even though you saved a lot of kits and all that, it will not save the project in the project directory. Okay. The songs. Now this is a bit tricky sometimes. Here is a song button. You turn it on and off. Song mode on, song mode off. Function and edit takes you to the song editor. Yeah. And if you press function and yes, here you add some this is my song now. And then we say in this song we're gonna unmute. You can see these little icons here, unmuting these. And in this we're gonna unmute. We're gonna mute those, and then it's full again. And then we're going to play track pattern 1 again. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So that's my little song now. And if I want to save this, I've got two song is written 2 places. Song here is just turning on and off the song mode, whether or not it's going to follow the song arrangement. And edit is editing the song. Yeah. But this one, function and song up here, takes it to the song menu. So here I could say, okay, save this song right there, and we give it a name, call it Demon. Dion? Yeah, okay, Dion. There you go. Now I just save this song in the song memory. Now we can get rid of it. Yeah. Do all these changes, and then go into this menu again, song, load, and it's loaded. But we also need to turn this on to play for it. So this is a little so the songs is stored in the project, as you can see here. Song load 16. Yeah. Okay. If there's one thing I can't say enough, it's be sure that you're saving the kit. Just save the kit. If you made any changes in the kit, save it. And if you're starting a new project, save the new kit manually, not with a shortcut. Because if you save it with a shortcut, it will overwrite. So potentially, every pattern can have its own kit. There's 128 kits, 128 patterns. Potentially, you can have different kits for every pattern, but only if you do it and save it manually. Okay, so if we want to back up the data, how do we do it? Well, first of all, I just want to admit that it seems currently that there is no way to back up the samples, because the samples come from outside of the unit itself and it goes into the unit. So make like a clone or a backup before you send them into the machine. That's my advice. Because if we go in here, function global samples, I can select a bunch of samples, and then what can I do with them? I can deselect, load the project, delete, select for move, create directory. There is no Sysex send. I can receive samples with Sysex, but I can't send them out. So if you want to be very careful about making a backup, make a backup every time you add something to your analog rhythm. Make like a clone folder or something, a computer is my advice to you. But everything else could be backed up. Let's say I made some great new sounds and I want to store them on the computer. What I could do is to launch C6. I've launched it here now. Hello. And make sure that it's configured. Electron analog rhythm, yeah, it's there. Cool. It looks good. And if I want to just back up a specific sound, I could do that by going here, function and sound manager, and then I could, manually select a bunch of sounds, and then I could say send Sysex. Before I press send, I'm gonna press receive in the app, and then I'm gonna send. Dish. No, nothing happened. Okay. If you encounter this, what just happened, nothing was sent, nothing was received, first thing to check is the MIDI settings. So let's go to the function in global and MIDI port config. Input from MIDI and USB. Output to MIDI. Well, I only have the USB right now, so I'm going to output to USB. Input to USB. Okay, I'm going to do it again. Function is sound and sound browser. No, sound manager. Okay, I'm going to take a bunch of sounds and go to the right and go all the way down and say send Sysex. First, I'm going to press receive here, and then I'm going to press send. Dish. And it's so quick, so I couldn't even see the bar there. So I can see here now that I received data 1 Sysex. If I press it, I can see what it contains. It indeed contains 6 sounds. Okay. Gonna get rid of that now. I'm going to close it. Yeah. So if I want to back up more, I could do that in the global menu. Function global, go all the way down to Sysex dump, Sysex send, and then there is like a menu here. I could say I could send all the project, all sounds, all kits, all patterns. I mean, send the whole project is going to send everything associated with this project. Let's do that and see what it looks like. Receive, whole project, send, dish. And we can see there now a bunch of bytes coming in. Sending. And by the way, okay, complete. If you tune the MIDI in and out to only USB, it seems like it's much faster. If one of them is turned to MIDI, standard MIDI, then the transfer rate is going to be much slower. Okay, so it's done. Press stop here. I press it to check what it contains. So I can see down here it contains 4 kits, 128 sounds, 128 patterns. This is just standard, even though the sounds are not really full, it still sends the whole kit as a whole. Yeah. So every kit is sort of full, I guess. And it takes up about 2 megabytes. Cool. Okay, so if I want to receive, if I want to send the whole project back to the unit, so how do I do that? Well, in a way, it's very simple. You just go out again and say Sysex receive and receive any. But just to demonstrate how it works, it doesn't function in it project load project project manager. It will not like put something here. Even though you're sending a whole project, it will not end up here. It will end up in the working zone, in the currently loaded project memory. And then it's up to you what you will do with it, if you save it or if you do something else. So if we do this again, like initialize new, clearing, yeah, we call it new project. We'll load this and we save the tutorial. Now it's just a clean project again, nothing is here. If I in this state say global, go down here to Sysex dump, Sysex receive any, now it's waiting. So if I take the same thing that we just created and saved to the computer and send, you can see it receives all the bunch of stuff. And it's going to take a while. Okay, so all the patterns are coming to a close, the songs, settings, and yeah, there we go, done. So now it's loaded the whole Sysex package of that project is now sent over, and we can see like a receipt here of what went over. So just press something and go out, and indeed yeah, so yeah, there you go. One thing that I might have forgotten to mention is that let's take a look at the sample memory again. So samples, go to the left, view the RAM memory. Now these are the samples. We loaded them manually. We check here, it's empty. If I load a sound now that has a sample associated to it, a sound browser, like I'm sure I'll go and load them. Yeah, this certainly has something to it. Sound browser. Maybe that one, I'm not sure. And let's do another one here. Yeah, this one. And here. This one. Now we've loaded a bunch of sounds with samples associated to them. So where are those samples now? I'm going to go into the global samples, and yeah, I'm in the sample memory now. I can see that they were just stacked in the first, in the first 3 slots. Now this is what I expected to happen when you copy a whole kit from one project to another. I was expecting it to just stack the samples further down here, and I'm hoping that maybe Electron would do it like that, because copying and pasting a whole kit is actually quite important. You might spend a lot of time creating a kit, and then you might want to start out with that kit in a new project as well. Okay, so that pretty much sums it up, I think. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it sums it up, right? It's getting too long. It always gets too long. Yeah, don't know what to do to keep it shorter. So much information. Well, yeah, that pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? Yeah, sorry, I forgot the mirror. I had to do it like the digital way. Anyway, so yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Getting too long again, sorry about that, but there's so much information. I just want you to understand all of this, and if I do it too quickly, maybe it doesn't really sink in, or just try to put it all in context. So I hope you appreciate that. Well, if you do appreciate stuff like this, and I am intending to make many more of these tutorials and interesting stuff, if you do appreciate this, feel free to micro support my videos over at Patreon. Patreon is a very good service for creative people, and for any creator really. It doesn't just involve music. It's a platform where you can subscribe with the amount that you see fit for the service. So if you want to subscribe to my videos and show financial support, like throwing in $1 or $2 or $3, $5, $10, $1 million, $1 billion, just feel free to do that. There is a very good way to do it. Patreon.com/cookingmusic. It's like an info button over here somewhere that it pops up. Follow that link. So anyway, keep it up, everyone. Keep up the good work, and hope to see you very soon again. And yeah, this is getting too long. So peace out, everyone, and stay cooking and curious. Yeah, bye.